What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are finally going to talk about the plumbing on the Red Sea Reefer 350. So I'm trying to make this video a little bit different than usual. People are gonna like it a little bit more. So let's start with basics right here. So I got this tank as a gift. When I got it, I decided that it had a lot of potential. So I start doing a few things that I thought will make the tank look a lot better and will make the system perform a lot better. As of right now, I almost had the system complete. So what I mean by that? Okay, so to begin with, I installed several pieces of equipment that make my life a lot easier in the process of reaching stability in my system. Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm building the plumbing for the Red Sea Reefer 350. I'm building the manifold. I forgot to show you the previous step. Here is almost the piece is almost complete right here. So I'm going to use two exits, 1/2, and the whole pipe is 3/4. I'm using one is going to be destined for the carbon, and the other one is going to be destined for the Pax Bellum. So yeah, that's the main manifold right there. That right there is the pipe for the return pump, and this right here is the check valve. It's a bulb check valve. It's very useful. You only find it in like industrial supply stores, online mostly. So the difference between this and a regular check valve that you see in all the other builds is that this one is like a bulb that is inside, so no moving parts, and it does not fail. It doesn't fail at all. I'm using that in my 120, and I'm also going to use that in the Red Sea Reefer. All right, let me continue and I show you in a minute what I did. All right, guys, so here's the final result of the plumbing job, and pretty much this is how it's going to look inside the tank. So let me show you real quick. I have a 1 inch and 1/4 union in the base. This is going to be connected to the main pump. It goes all the way up to the check valve. This is the bulb check valve. Goes into a 90-degree elbow, and then it turns into the manifold. So you have the left hand side is going to be the carbon, and the right side is the Pax Bellum, and then it goes into the system. All right, so I have a barb fitting right here. This is going to be connected to the original existing barb fitting from the Red Sea. I didn't found the part for the Red Sea, so that's why I'm using a connection like bar fitting to bar fitting. It's a little bit awkward, but it's going to work. And yeah, man, that's it. These right here are going to be holding the whole unit, and then I have to make a clamp that holds the whole weight of this thing. It's a little bit heavy. I'm gonna show you that in a minute. What's going on, guys? So I'm finally going to install the manifold in my Red Sea Reefer. Like everything I do is a pain in the butt to do this, because first of all, I want to do this a little bit clean. So as you can see, I don't have that many cables, and I want to keep it that way. I already removed most of the wire from the sump, as you can see right there. So now I have to take the pump, remove the old hose from there, take my skimmer out, and install this right here. All right, so let me work on it real quick, and then I show you the end results. All right, guys. So finally, this is the end result of installing the manifold in the Red Sea Reefer 350. As you can see, it looks really good. I really like it how it ended up. You can see in front of the tank, in front of the sump, you see the Pax Bellum right there. I haven't installed it yet, and I have to do a better job with the hoses. That's a 3/4 hose right there, and same as that. I want to save some space, so I might have to get some elbows and do like a 90-degree fold. Overall, I really like how clean it looks. That's the look that I was shooting for. So a couple of things is that when doing plumbing in running system is very tedious, because you don't have the luxury to measure and remove stuff and measure again. No, everything is running. You have to like pretty much gamble with the measurements a little bit, and sometimes you make mistakes, and like I made a big mistake. So right here, this part right here, when I did the initial setup, I didn't measure correctly, and this whole area was higher, was like probably half an inch higher. So the whole thing was crooked a little bit. So in order to fix that, I had to cut this a little bit. So I was I was like, okay, it's already glue and it's already dry. How am I going to do that? So I choose to cut it way down here. So I have to cut that piece right here, pretty much chisel the existing pipe, the dry pipe, out of that piece, and then glue it back with epoxy. As you can see, if you saw that right there, there is a small leak still going on. It's like in the back right here. I know I messed up in there, but it's like a control messing up because the leak is like right there. Eventually I have to remove that again and add more epoxy. I couldn't use regular plumbing glue because when I chiseled the pipe out, I had to sand the inside of it a little bit so the other piece of pipe could fit again. And by doing so, the normal plumbing glue doesn't work anymore because it's already too white. So that's why I have to use epoxy because it's more it has a higher viscosity. But that's you gotta deal with that kind of stuff when dealing with an already existing setup. So right here, this is the exit for the carbon reactor. I haven't installed that yet. I have to install it and show you guys that. And so yeah, I was going to show you the whole setup. So far so good. All right, so let me keep working. All right guys, so I installed the Pax Bellum, and this is how it looks. It looks super freaking cool. It's very bright. The camera doesn't do a very good justice in how good it looks inside the sump. So the last thing that I have to do is put some microalgae inside of it, and that's it. I already programmed the time with the apex, and that's it. I'm ready to go. So a few things that I want to talk to the Pax Bellum before I leave, guys, is I modified this unit because this is the smaller unit they sell. So first thing that I did is, if you can see down here, I cut some legs, and the legs that the Pax Bellum comes with is, if you see that clear one, that's all they come with. So it's very short. And this unit, it came with hang in the back. It used to be right here. So I cut that out, clean it up, make it look like it was a single piece, and I put the legs on because I don't have anywhere else to put it, right? And it looks a lot better like that. All right, so starting with the carbon reactor. That's a mini carbon reactor from BRS. I installed that into the manifold. So that's the second thing that I did in this system, the manifold and the hard plumbing. As you can see right there, we have the core pump connected to the manifold. We have the two valves right here, regular ball valves, and the first one is feeding the carbon. The second one right here is feeding this Pax Bellum reactor. Okay, and then as you can see in the back, we have the water going up into the system by that little piece of rubber hose. So the second piece of equipment that I installed in the system was the Pax Bellum. So it's working for I will say almost 15 days now. It got some detritus built up already a little bit inside of it. Also it has some detritus. I already have some microalgae in there. It's too early to tell if I notice any differences. A few things that I want to modify, more modifications, are the hoses. So this right here is a 3/4 and the exit is a 3/4, so it's a little bit aggressive, and it doesn't allow me to if I want to change right here the media, the sponges in this area, I have to move that. So I have to do something about that in the near future. The other piece of equipment, I already mentioned this, but just one more time, is the calc reactor. There's a calc water reactor in the back right there, and is dropping into the last chamber. As you can see right here in the last chamber, I have a regular power head moving the water, so I don't want to have any buildups. I don't want to have any buildups of any chemicals that I'm dosing. If you notice right there in the back, that's where my alkalinity and calcium are dropping, so they're falling into a very moving water, so it mixes when they fall, so that allows the chemicals to not precipitate when they fall into the salt water. All right, and finally I have the protein skimmer. It's already set up. It's working very, very nicely. And down here is my reservoir. I have to do something about this. I haven't, but I have a piece of acrylic. I'm going to cut that in the correct size and make it look pretty. All right, guys, and to finish up, we have here the Apex system. I have the alkalinity and calcium working already, as you can see. And down here, that one right there is feeding my calc reactor. So that's moving our water into calc reactor. All right, and to finish all the modifications that I did to the system, let's talk about a little bit about this right here. So when I introduced the system, I told you guys that I was going to add the third light into the system, and that's exactly what I did right here. So that's the kessil from my old frac tank. And what I did is I modified this a little bit. So I installed a piece of aluminum that holds, that is connected in both sides with some bolts. And in the middle, I installed the kessil. So the light is suspended exactly in the middle of the tank, and it's a little bit forward, because in the middle of the tank I have the overflow. So the section is a little bit narrow, so that's why I put the light a little bit forward, so it illuminates pretty much everything that is right here in this area. So that's the kessil and the Red Sea Reefer 350. To finish up, that's how the tank looks as of right now. So I have a couple of news that I want to share, and is one of those is a very sad news. So unfortunately, I lost my mantis shrimp not too long ago, and one day I just I woke up, I went to feed him, and he wasn't moving or responding. I thought he wasn't, pretty much, he didn't want to do anything. He was like in the hole that he used to be all the time. So I let it be, and next day when I came and to check on him, he was gone. He was dead. So those are very sad news. I very like the mantis shrimp. It opens a few opportunities to have something different, and very fortunate. Last weekend I went to the marina with my family, and I caught one of these guys. Let me show you. You see that little guy right there? So that's a southern puffer. So I caught him. Gonna keep it right there for a minute, see how he does. It's pretty cool. And if he grows too big or whatever, I'm putting him back into the marina. Yeah, so as of right now, I don't have anything else in that tank besides the puffer. But anyways, so those are the news. and the Red Sea is coming up super good, man. Is everything that I do into it, I mean, I can see the good things about it, and right now the only thing that I'm missing is to hooking up the Trident. So hopefully I'm going to do that very soon, start playing with that. That's new for me, see how that goes. If you like this kind of stuff, help me out and subscribe. I noticed a lot of people like the DIY stuff, and don't get me wrong, I like doing DIY, but I don't have time. When the time comes, and if I do have to make it, I will do my best to make DIY and make it look very presentable. Other than that, no much time for me. So thank you so much, guys, for watching my stuff, and I will see you in the near future with something else. Thank you.